Morning! I've literally just been, I've literally just been trying to put all of this up on my iPad so that I can see what you guys can see. Nothing's happening yet, but tell me if you can see me. Can you? I'm also hoping that I'll see the chat messages. Oh, yay, okay. I'm also hoping I'll see the chat messages a little bit better on here than I will on the screen because it's a little bit far away from me. Thanks for joining me. I don't remember the last time I did a YouTube live. The light's not great, is it? Which is weird because I am in pretty much the brightest room of the house that I could be in. So what's everybody doing this morning? I would still be in bed was it not for this. I'm just going to adjust this to be a little bit lower down. We could probably stand to be a touch closer too. I don't know. Playing Sims. Oh man, I was playing Sims last night. I love The Sims. Anybody else? Love it. I really, really like the new update that they put out. So for those of you that haven't played The Sims for a long time, they recently did a little update and you kind of get the opportunity to take a quiz in the very beginning and create your character from various questions like, are you more this or more that? And it creates a character for you with a ready-made job, more or less money depending on what you've caught, what the answers that you were. It's really cool. It's like totally refreshed the game, I think. Working from home, which means you can work and catch up on YouTube all day. Yeah, depending on the job that you do, I find that too. Lots of people are surprised that I can watch as much TV as I do. And to be fair, it's not quite so much now as it was previously because I can't edit videos, I can't write blog posts when I'm watching TV. Obviously can't film anything while I'm watching TV, but I used to do a lot of flat lay stuff. When I was doing the Makeup Revolution stuff that we talked about, when I was doing like Instagram stuff for other brands and got my own Instagram stuff, my own blog posts, I used to do a lot of flat lay photography. Not so much anymore. I enjoyed it. It was very creative. I enjoyed the process, but I don't think you guys are that interested in flat lays from me, so hey. Do we go to the cinema at all? Yes, frequently. Well, frequently for people with children. Are you going to recommend something specific? We did just go to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It was okay. I said this on Instagram. I said it was okay. It was an hour too long. And someone messaged me and was like, well, this is what Quentin Tarantino's movies are. Like, no, I get it. I understand. I've seen all of his other movies. I understand that it's a bit quirky, but it really did feel like there was a solid hour in the middle you could just get rid of. A lot of it felt like filler, where everything happened in the last hour. So you meet all the characters in the first hour. There's a lot of slowness in the second hour. And then in the third hour, everything happens. I don't know. It was visually very impressive. Lee commented on, because obviously it's all supposed to be kind of like in the 70s. And he said that they got all the cars and all that stuff. And like when they were on the freeway, every single car was the right era, that kind of stuff. It was just a nice movie to watch, but we watched it late at night and it was like, I don't know, I think it was 1:45 when we left. So it felt extra long because of the time of day we watched it. Have I watched The Lion King? No interest at all in watching any of the new Disney movies at all. I don't like all the live action stuff. Super don't care about that at all. I have seen The Sims Magic Pack coming soon. I'm medium excited. I would have rather had University. Let me see what I've missed. Lots of people getting up and cleaning today. Friday is one of those days for me. I like to get everything like ready for the weekend. Can't go to the cinema because literally park my boat in 5 minutes, usually asleep. Yes. So, yeah, no, my husband's the same. He will probably have a sleep every single time we go to the cinema. We take Milo to the cinema a lot more often than we go to the cinema by ourselves. And he's fine at the cinema since being really small. We used to take him to the kids' AMs that were really cheap. And now, most views across the country are like $4.99 per ticket per person. Amazing, all the time. So we go to the cinema a lot more often with the kids now. Last good book I read. I don't read a lot of physical books, but I do listen to a lot of audio books. I'm trying to remember. We watched the Simon Amstel comedy special on Netflix last night, his new one, and a lot of that was in his book because he takes snippets of actual live performances and puts them in the audio book. It was absolutely amazing, this book. I would say, I mean, that I read that last year, I think, or very early this year, but I would recommend his book. I really enjoyed it. And I'm like halfway through The Wolf of Wall Street. That's a very long book. I think it's like 20 hours or something crazy. Michelle Obama one, again, a really long one, but amazing. Busy Phillips autobiography. I prefer autobiographies. I don't do a lot of like novels. Busy Phillips was amazing. I've listened to that like 2 or 3 times now. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I'm excited for the kids to get back to school into a routine. 100%. Could not be more excited. Could not be more excited at all. Oh, Maleficent 2, is that coming out this year? I liked Maleficent, it was really good. Oh, see, we're all excited for the kids to go back to school, and then there's the teacher who's not, obviously. See, when the comments come up on screen, they fade so quickly. I'm so glad I have this in front of me, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to do it. Hated Dumbo. Lion King would have been better if there wasn't a cartoon first. Aladdin was okay. Gonna do Lady and the Tramp. Ugh, no, I'm just not interested. Not interested at all in these remakes. I'd love to listen to podcasts. I don't even know what they're about. Oh, they could be about whatever you want. You can get podcasts. It's like saying you don't know what YouTube is about. There are people on, well, there are just people in the world making podcasts all the time about whatever it is they're interested in. We listen to some comedy podcasts that are like improv comedy stuff. We listen to, I've started listening to Mark Maron. I really enjoy interview stuff. In the same way that I like autobiography books, I like listening about people's lives. I really enjoy hearing about, especially like really, really famous people, like how they didn't think something was going to work out and then it did. I like that. Just life stories. Life stories. October for Maleficent, that's really good. I'm excited about that. Just don't do Disney films, period, remake or not. Oh, the one I enjoyed most in recent years, the most recent Disney movie that I've enjoyed would have to be Tangled. I really liked Princess and the Frog, but Tangled. I'm gonna have to put my hair up because it's driving me crazy. I just blow dried it this morning, and it feels heavy on my head. It's driving me nuts. And I'm going to drive you nuts messing with it. Shagged, Married, Annoyed. Emma keeps telling me that I need to listen to that, but I haven't. One of the best celebrity autobiographies are Mara Wilson. Oh, yeah, see, that's the kind of thing that I would really enjoy. Mara Wilson, who played Matilda. The stuff where you're like, I wonder what happened to her, and then she tells the whole story. The people, Rachel Dratch, hers was great. She was a Saturday Night Live cast member, and she was supposed to be cast. I don't know if you guys ever saw 30 Rock, but we love 30 Rock. She was friends with Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, that whole gang, Maya Rudolph. She was in Wine Country. Anyway, she was supposed to be cast as one of the main people in 30 Rock, which was like Tina Fey's TV show after she left SNL. And they basically said she wasn't pretty enough. There were multiple things, and her whole autobiography is about the fact that she wasn't right for so many different things. Even though she's obviously hilarious, she was a cast member, she kind of got her chops in that way and she got some validation, but she just didn't work for a long time, and then having a baby later in life that she didn't think she would have. It's a really, really, really good book. I like the adversity stuff. Have I been to Meadowhall this week? I have, obviously. Went to Primark, got all the browns in ready for winter, looked so nice. Yes, I have a Primark come shop with me on Sunday. I went last weekend. Very exciting. Yeah, no, autumn winter range in Primark is really, really good. I kind of went through a lot of stuff, tried a lot of stuff on. I'm going to go back tomorrow for the stuff that I picked up in the wrong sizes to try and again in the right sizes, because one of them was like a cord, like a brown, rustish kind of colour pinafore in like this velvet cord. Oh my God, it was beautiful. But I picked it up in a 6. It was on a 12 hanger. That was obviously my error. Would I ever cut my hair? Do you know what's funny? I was looking on Instagram this morning and someone that I follow cut her hair really short, and I thought, I really, really like that. I would. I like short hair. However, I think long hair is easier, crazy as that sounds. And I like it right now. I've never grown my hair long in my entire life. And since I've pretty much left it natural, I just had that small amount of balayage recently, I probably won't be cutting my hair for a long time. But someone asked me about whether I would go blonde again recently as well. And I talked about this when I did that sponsored video for Clairon, like nice and easy video, like Christmas time last year. And I will go blonde again, but not until I've got a good amount of grey. That's my plan anyway. I would maybe do like a balayage or something where I still had roots. So it was like a low maintenance blonde. But I will never go full blonde again until I've got a good amount of grey, and I feel like I have to dye my hair. I want to make the most of the fact that I don't have to do my roots. Did I just see something that said, what year is it? What year is it? Hang on. Can I? There we go. I didn't realise this was a thing. On Instagram Live, you get like really random trolls. Didn't realise this was a thing on YouTube Live, because we don't do this very often. Done. Okay. I did. I got rid of him. I think someone asked if I was going to Greece again next year. I'm not. That's not the plan. I think what we're going to do next year, I'm flip-flopping. All depends on whether or not I get some stellar deal on something sponsored. If I'm being completely real with you, what will happen is Lee really, really wants to go back to Disney World, and it's very expensive, and I don't feel like I don't want to commit myself, because that's so much money right now. But anything can happen over Christmas. And if something comes up that is right and the money is right, then maybe we'll go to Disney World. Otherwise, I think we're going to go back to Disneyland Paris, because considerably cheaper. Wait, is there another one? I thought I'd already blocked him. Yeah, considerably cheaper. Still expensive. It's an expensive holiday for like less than a week. Crazy. But I want to do Disney again while everything's still magic for Milo. And so we'll do something Disney next year. And then Lee and I are going to New York in January, which if you just go 2 people in January for like, I think we're going 3 nights, crazy cheap, really affordable. You can go for less than £1,000, which we are. I think it was like £900 or something. And then because we have loads of air miles that we've never been able to use, Lee managed to convert them. So on the way home from New York, we're going to go premium economy, which I'm really excited about, because we've never done that before. I probably will never do it again, because I'm not prepared to spend more for the flight. I'd rather go like on another holiday. If you look up the differences between economy and premium economy for multiple people, it's just not worth it to me. I'll buy Colette. New York in January is cold. Super, super cold. I mean, it really all depends, because I have been to New York in January and bought a balaclava and worn it in the streets. It was cold, like hurts your face, bitter cold. And then I remember telling Emma and Chris when we went with them at that time of year, I remember saying, it's going to be cold, prepare yourself, like it really, really cold. Like I took thermals, I was wearing stuff underneath my jeans. It was cold, cold, cold. And it was really mild, and I was wearing a leather jacket, and I felt like, oh, well, you are just thinking a liar of me. They just think I'm really, really nesh. But no, it can be very cold. You just kind of roll the dice. If you get like an Arctic tundra just before you go, then it can be very cold. It snowed, it's not snowed. We were snowed in one year and we couldn't fly home. That was a whole thing. And I was so ill. I had a really bad cold. And between the fact that I was taking this cold medication and we'd been out and I'd had some drinks, I lost like 2 days. I just remember vividly Lee coming and updating me on things and then going back. I was in bed and he would like go and walk out in New York. He said it was really cool, like walking around in the snow by himself. I'm like, no memory of this. We've just bought an annual pass for Paris, going our first week in December, and it's only costing us $300 each, not including the park ticket. That's interesting. I would consider an annual pass for Disneyland Paris. I don't know whether or not it's something that I would do with the children. It's just so expensive. Once you've got 4 of everything to buy, it is. But I think if you're going to go regularly, it's the only way that it makes sense. Go to Disney World for a special occasion. I'm planning to go for my 30th with my daughters, who will be 6 and 4. Yeah, I completely agree. Because Disney is like a really, really big holiday. But also, is there another troll, or did I get rid of them? Is this just delayed? I don't know. But for me, I think obviously your kids are 6 and 4. Mine are, the next time we go on holiday, will be 14 and 8. And the 8-year-old is the one for whom everything is still magic. And so there is somewhat of a timer on it. When we went last year, it was so magical. Like the little bits from Milo of him like seeing the parade and saying it has to be the real Rapunzel because nobody could have hair that long. Things like that. Like it's magic. And it would be easy to say, oh, well, we'll wait until a special occasion to go. But then that magic might not be there anymore. I'm very mindful of that. I swear, when that magic's not there anymore, Christmas is gonna suck. Yeah, no, I think I got rid of the trolls. Which iPad do I use? I've got the iPad Pro purely because I wanted to do illustrations for my book, and I got the Apple Pencil. That is the only reason. Occasionally I use it now for other stuff, like I'm going to do some things. Wait. Am I just not seeing the troll? Has he come back? Is that, I don't understand. Okay, anyway, as and when I'll get rid. Yeah, I've used different iPads. They're basically all the same. I don't see the difference. Like the only thing is I downloaded one game now. Oh, okay, I think you all need to block the troll. Because I can't see him anymore. Okay. I don't really know how I could have got rid of him. Yeah, I got, what did I have? An iPad mini. Really, really happy with it. Never had a problem with it. For just watching stuff on it, no problem. I would have the iPad mini again in a heartbeat. If there'd been a mini Pro, I would have got that. I liked the smaller size, but I got the Pro in the regular size because that's the smallest one they did at the time, purely for the drawing element. I've now downloaded a game called Civilization 6, which I love. It's my kind of game, strategy and like growing a civilization. I really enjoy that. And I don't think I could have downloaded it on another iPad. It seems to have to be like a certain like size of iPad. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Within the, what do I mean? Come on, the words are evading me. It's too early in the morning for me. Memory size is the word I'm looking for. Partly that, and like it has to have like a fast enough processor. I think from what I'd read, the Pro was the only one that could handle that game. You probably could download it on another one, but it wouldn't work as well. And even on mine, it crashes all the time. So other than that, really no problem with a lesser iPad. I wouldn't spend the extra for the Pro unless you are planning on downloading some major games or you want the element of drawing. I don't think it's worth it. And the drawing tablet for your MacBook, I always want, the part of it is I always wanted a drawing tablet when I was a kid. I used to draw a lot as a kid, and it was like new technology. We would go to Staples, and you remember those drawing tablets that were just like grey slabs of plastic with a little thing. Oh my god, I wanted one so bad. In fact, I remember my mum and dad got me one that was like something you plugged into the TV. You know, like a game that you would plug into the TV. So you plugged it in, you could see what you were drawing, and there was a tablet that you were like drawing on here, but it never worked, so we took it back. That was disappointing. And so part of it was like having that thing that I never had, I think. That was part of it. But I wouldn't get a drawing tablet now, because with this at least you can see, as you're drawing, you can see where you're drawing. I think I would find it hard to look on a screen up here and draw down here. I think the iPad Pro is worth the money if you're going to use that. If you're going to use the that element. If you're not going to use that element, no, it's not worth the money. Just get a cheaper iPad. They're all the same thing. Are you and Em meeting again soon? Yes, we were supposed to meet this Sunday, but then she had a surprise booked for her birthday. So I think it's going to be mid-September that we're meeting up, and we're going to do some stuff for Vlogmas, which is exciting. We're already preparing. I've done all of my prep today. I think what I'm going to be doing for Vlogmas, because I was like back and forth, and I don't do a lot of vlogs anymore. A lot of people have joined who maybe don't know me for vlogs, maybe don't care for vlogs from me. So I think what's going to happen is we're going to have an extra video a week. So it's not going to be every single day. It's a lot for people, I know. It's not going to be every single day, but my plan is that every video will start somewhat vloggy, so it will be kind of like on the day. Let's say I film a haul, then the intro to that haul will be real time. It will be like this, like da-da-da-da, good morning, what's happened, something about what's happening right now, something possibly about the last vlog, something that feels like you're joining on each video. That's the plan. And 2 of the videos per week I think are going to be vlogs. So like Monday vlog, Wednesday beauty video, Friday vlog, Sunday shopping. We can't not do the Sunday shopping till the Christmas, can we? Because that's really exciting time to do it. So I think that's the plan. I have kind of floated the idea with you guys on the poll element of this thing on YouTube. So yeah, let me know what you think, but I think that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, someone said that the iPad Air works with the Apple Pencil now. So really, might not even be worth getting the Pro at all. Have I ever shopped at the Metro Centre? I haven't. I've heard they're very, very similar, Meadowhall and the Metro Centre. Couldn't see the bottom of the coffee pot, just the lid. Thought it was a sugar bowl. No, it's a giant coffee pot. It's actually one that's got an infuser element, but I didn't have any of my loose tea left. What is the earliest I put my tree up? I always do 30th of November as it's a special date for me. So, I used to put my tree up as early as I liked. Since we have Milo, which was a long time ago now, his birthday's the 15th, so on the 16th of November, my tree will be going up. I'm very excited about it this year because last year, I was into December by the time I put my tree up. I know. But I got a new tree. It was what's it called? Balsam Hill. So if you're like a major Christmas movie addict like I am, the Hallmark movies, all the crappy Christmas movies, my favourites, they use Balsam Hill trees because they look like the most realistic, they're the easiest to put together, yada yada. And so last year, I treated myself to this Balsam Hill tree, which was really expensive for a Christmas tree, but it's hopefully going to be my Christmas tree forever. Pre-lit, it's all very fancy. I cannot wait to get that out of the garage. Since it was like rainy in July, I've been excited about getting my Christmas tree out. I think it's because last year I felt like I was waiting so long. Oh no, I'm just really excited about it. Sunday Christmas shopping, yes. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. I think that when I meet up with Emma, 2nd of November, we're going to go to London. We're going to go and see Hamilton, which I've seen before, but Emma hasn't seen. It's going to be our Christmas jaunt this year. 2nd of November. So I think we're going to go and maybe look at some department stores and do a little bit of a Sunday shop in some London department stores, because 2nd of November is pretty early for the rest of the shops. I know they'll be there, but not like full on. It's going to be really, really festive. Milo's such an unusual name. Where did it come from? I honestly don't know where it came from. I don't know where I heard it for the first time. I know since I've found that certain people, like Alyssa Milano's got a baby called Milo. Well, I say baby, boy called Milo. And I think he might have been born before Milo. So it could have been that. The guy from Heroes, the guy from This Is Us, is called Milo. I'm not even going to guess it starts with a V. I'll completely embarrass myself if I try. There are people called Milo, but I don't know where it came from. And weirdly enough, we went to the park at the end of our street last week, and there was Milo. There was a dog called Milo, which is pretty common. It seems to be a dog's name. And there was a woman with her grandson, also called Milo. How weird is that? On our estate. I think that's really strange. I'd always put a tree up in November. Luckily for boyfriend, we're in Japan then, so I am forced not to do it until December. Ugh, that sucks. Forced? This sounds terrible. We celebrate Yule, 21st, 22nd, and we start decorating slowly come November 1st. Oh, I'm going to be Googling this. Any extra thing I can do. Please do Sunday shopping at M&S. Not sure if I'm getting older, they're upping my game. I actually already did a Sunday shopping in M&S Claire. You can go and check that out. It was one of my earlier ones, maybe like a month or two ago. But I'm going to do another one for sure. 12th of December, Alana. Man, what is even the point in getting so much effort doing the tree? What is the point if you're only going to have it up for half a month? Oh, I'm not bothered about Halloween at all. You should go to Bath Christmas Market. It's beautiful. Bath is such a... I swear. Like, if you're driving from where... I mean, either way, because Emma and Chris apparently get stuck in traffic there as well. But if we're driving to Emma and Chris's house, you have to go through Bath. I would love to stop there one day, but by the time we have got through the traffic to get into Bath, we just want to leave Bath. That is the problem. I like the idea... But, ugh, what a pain. When I was younger, my mum used to put the Christmas tree up the day after my birthday on the 23rd of November, and my sisters would complain. Why? Complain about what? I know Milo's name, the guy from Heroes. I know his name, but I want to say, like, Ventimiglia, and I feel like that's butchering it. I know what his name is, I just feel like I can't say it. I assume it must be Ventimiglia, maybe? I don't know. It's definitely getting bigger, Halloween. No, I'm not interested. Not even a little bit. What is your advice for Christmas with the new baby? Oh my God, enjoy it. Christmas with the new baby is the best. The absolute best. Oh, I'm so interested. People are talking about different like traditions that they have, like pagan festivals and stuff. I'm going to be all in on anything that I can celebrate around Christmas. Oh, Alana. Alana says she's one of those people rolling her eyes when she sees the shops doing it in October. You are not going to enjoy my content for the rest of the year, friend. No, I can't understand why you would make all that effort to put up a tree just to take it back down again. Like 2 weeks later. Crazy. Oh, I get the feeling that Milo will work in the arts. He has a great sensitivity for things. I think so too, Deborah. Right now, he's watching Pokemon and drawing the Pokemon. He's super, super sensitive. Like, he can wind himself up to the verge of tears over tiny, tiny things. Like last week, he had like a bit of a meltdown. Not a meltdown, it wasn't like a tantrum, but like an emotional moment, let's say, because Lee was spending more time with the dog, and he was clearly jealous, and it was just like, it kind of spiraled, and he was just really upset. Quietly, not like in a big, loud tantrum kind of way, but he just obviously was upset. And the week before, he was like really pushy with his sister, and he was trying to hug her all the time, and she was like, enough now. And he was really upset that she wouldn't hug him anymore. It's very, very sensitive, and there's lovely things about that, and also not at the same time. But hopefully he finds a thing that he can channel that through in the future. Oh, I usually take my tree down. I can't believe we're talking about Christmas. It's the 23rd of August. I usually take my tree down like just after Christmas. That's usually the plan. Like after Boxing Day, I'm kind of getting bored of it. But for me, that's it. Everything leading up to Christmas Day is like it for me. Oh man, I'm tired. Shall we get off the subject of Christmas? Should we do another 10 minutes? I was only going to do half an hour, but we'll do another 10 minutes since there's a lot of you here. New Year's Eve is tree down day. Yeah, I get that. I don't really ever do anything on New Year's Eve. We've booked a restaurant. We took the kids out for dinner last year, and we're going to do the same again this year because it was really fun. But we don't do big New Year's Eve anything. Oh my god. I'm drinking tea. This should be keeping me awake. I'll tell you what I did want to mention before we just got into the chat. I've been using this for the past couple of days. I think it's breaking me out, and I'm absolutely bereft. It was sent to me. The Drunk Elephant TLC Framboose Glycolic Night Serum. Fancy pants serum. And I am very upset because I think this is what's breaking me out. I would say it was shaving because I've been a little bit lazy recently and shaved kind of my chin a little bit more than I should because I can't be bothered to get out the zapper. So for those of you that don't know, I'm trying to do an IPL thing right now and remove as much hair permanently as possible. And you have to shave it and yada yada yada. So I was gonna zap it and then pluck it. And I just have not been asked to do it. So I've been shaving it. I do have a few spots around here, but I've got one here and I've got one here, which makes me think it's not just the shaving because I've got one here and it's a really weird place for me to have a spot. Weird. How's Budget Beauty Month coming along? Very well, Ikra. I am excited. The first week is going to be all foundations and I've already got them all filmed. So 5 separate foundation reviews. Very basic, this is me applying it, half and half, all that stuff, how it looks at the end of the day, but 5 different foundation reviews, all budget foundations. I've got a shop with me. I am going to do a beauty haul. I'm very excited about it. I've got a massive list of stuff that I'm going to be doing and I'm hoping you guys are going to enjoy it. Is tea in the UK like coffee in the US? I would say so. Only in so much as we drink it more than we drink coffee. Although coffee is becoming very, very popular as well. But yeah, it is. It's and it's got a lot of caffeine in it. Tea can have more caffeine in it than sugar. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? Tea can have more caffeine in it than coffee. Sugar had no part of that equation. I don't have sugar in my tea or my coffee, so I have no idea where that came from. Obviously should have gone back to bed. Any plans to write another book? No, Sharon. Not very many people bought my other one. I say not very many people, maybe 500, which is a lot of people, but definitely not enough to warrant writing another one. Can I ask how the fasting is going? It's hit and miss. I do it sometimes, I don't do it sometimes. I found it really difficult to do it over the holidays because the kids are staying up later and our routine is all out of whack, but come September I'll be doing it again. I once epilated my face, never again. Yep, I've done that. And I can get through the pain of it because there's a lot of hair on my face. But I broke out like you have never seen. Insane. Hi Jane, welcome. If you're new, welcome. I hope you enjoy stuff that I put out. The IPL devices are brilliant. Mine is from Aldi. Yeah, no, great. Really, really cool. I can't be bothered to do my whole legs, but my bikini line and my chin, that's what I'm trying to do. Have you gone off coffee? I haven't gone off coffee, but I like to drink tea. I drink black tea, so it's easier than making myself a coffee. And what I think I might get, I was watching Jessica Braun recently and she had a warming plate. I don't know if it's something we can get in the UK, but I find that coffee's never really hot enough when I make it at home because I have my milk frother and I have the tea pod, the coffee pods. It's never really as hot as I want it to be. And so if I had a thing that I could put my mug on and it kept the coffee warm, or it heated it up a little bit more. I think maybe, but I like hot drinks. I don't like hot chocolate, weirdly enough. That's something that comes up frequently, people ask about. Yes, I do have a book, Melanie. I wrote a book. It's called Lifestyling. It's probably linked somewhere in the description. I've hidden it now because, but I do have a book. I was really proud of it. It's one of my like it's a major accomplishment, although it wasn't very successful. And I have to blame the whole thing of it. They really screwed it up initially, in that it took like 3 months to get to people. It was ridiculous. But yeah, I wrote a book. I'm really pleased with the book. I'm happy with it. But not a lot of people bought the book. But it is available on Amazon. Yeah, exactly. I did try to buy your book, but then it said it would be a few months before delivery, so I cancelled. Sorry. Exactly. That was the problem. They sent loads of books and then they were never, they didn't fix the problem, basically, quick enough. And then by the time they did, we'd lost the momentum. So there were a lot of people that pre-ordered the book, and then once the date got to that date where the book was supposed to be delivered to everyone, it said 3 months, and loads of people cancelled their orders. More people have bought it on ebook than as a physical book. Oh, thank you, Sharon. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Am I having super noodles for breakfast? No, I'm not today. I lost half a stone doing the 16-8 fasting, 2 weeks so far, and I'm sleeping better and feel amazing. Thanks for mentioning it. Yeah, I 100% agree. Hang on a minute, I've got another bizarre troll. I don't know how. Oh, here we go. Block. So you're gonna have to block him because I don't know how to block him for everyone. Yeah, I don't know about, like, I don't weigh myself or anything, so I can't tell you anything like that, but I do know that when I did the fasting, which basically was not eating between 8 o'clock at night and 12 o'clock the next day, my sleep was so much better. I wasn't as bloated. All the little issues that I had were gone. Drunk elephant glycolic acid isn't so much breaking you out as it is clearing and purging the unwanted stuff to the surface of your pores. Interesting. I didn't realise that's what this would do. Okay. Because I always think of anything that's like AHAs and any kind of acids at all as just like removing a layer of skin effectively. Not a layer, but you know what I'm saying, just like smoothing. I didn't really think of it as being something that would draw out impurities. I didn't realise that was what that kind of product was. Is that even a thing, whole clearing your pores? I do think that it is, in that it, like, if you like she said, it kind of draws things out. Certain products, like for example, I'm going to use this later, the clearing treatment from Glam Glow. Lots of like clay masks and stuff will kind of draw out the impurities, and then you'll get breakouts, and I'm prepared for that. I just wasn't prepared for it with that, because no other product that I've had has been like glycolic or AHA based has had that kind of effect, which is strange. For Budget Beauty Month, I've been using a moisturiser called Epiderm for the last month. It's amazing. Okay, I will write that one down. It's meant to be like the red mask from The Ordinary. No, I don't think that it is. This is a different thing. There is something called Baby Facial from, I'm looking at it and I can't say, Drunk Elephant, and that's like the red mask. I did a whole video comparing the two, and those are two products that are very, very similar. This is a different thing. This is a night serum. Did you know Rimmel pays Superdrug over £1 million to be the first counter in all Superdrug stores? Fun fact. Well, I did know certain things like that. And I mean, that's not true, because they are not the first counter in my Superdrug store. But I did know stuff like that because of the Makeup Revolution thing, and the conversations I would have with the guy who owns Makeup Revolution about all the different like deals that they had and how much space they would have versus other people. I mean, the Rimmel store is like, the Rimmel counter is like way pushed back in my Superdrug. But what was interesting to me that I never really considered until then was that everything's got a different price. So the price of things in the supermarket is different than the price in Superdrug, is different than the price in Savers. So Savers is owned by Superdrug. They're the same company, but they sell things at different prices. So Savers sells everything cheaper. And it's not even, I don't know what I thought. I thought it was like an outlet or a discount store, or I don't know. And I always thought that supermarkets had deals on, but it is just like the price points are different. And I don't know why I was so surprised, but they are. Yeah, Revolution is taking over Superdrug now. Agreed. We'll see how long it lasts, but agreed. They want to... Oh my god. Oh my god. How do they find these live videos to troll? Is it on a special thing? What is it all about? Yeah, again, Rimmel isn't the first stand in my Superdrug, but that's very interesting. It is. It is very interesting. Also, I'm watching this video as Emma I'm logged in as Emma on my iPad. So I wonder whether or not, because I'm blocking these people from her account, not my account. So I wonder if that's why. I think that's why. I'm only blocking from a viewer's account, not from my own account. We need to look into this and see whether or not this is something that I can do differently. I'm curious whether it's unplugging, exfoliating the top of your pores, which is letting the stuff hiding at the bottom of your pores work the way to the surface of the skin. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, that sounds like it could be. Surely you would want it to absorb the impurities, not just cause you to have spots. This is like a whole thing, but I completely agree that there are certain products that bring stuff to the surface so you can treat them and get rid of them. And yes, you would want them. They can't just absorb the impurities. It kind of sometimes need to get them out. And then if you continue to use the products, then they will get rid of them. So that's interesting. Maybe I won't give up on this quite so quickly then. Do you miss your old house? Yeah, I do miss my old house often. I mean, for multiple reasons. Obviously, we're not on our own here. We have this, for those of you that don't know, we have this house with my mum and dad temporarily. We've got just over 2.5 years left, and then we will sell the house and we'll go our separate ways. That's the plan. So I do miss my old house in that there were lots of things about the house, that last house, that I really liked, and the light in that house was really nice. The bedroom that we had there was nice. It was pretty much the perfect house for us. And I think if there was a little bit more downstairs space, we would have exactly that house again. What I am thankful for is that we had a really big house originally, and we rented that house. We then went to the next house, and it was much smaller. And we then have moved here, which again is a bigger house, but we're splitting it with my parents. And when we eventually go on, because we'll buy a house next, Lee and I both had houses once upon a time, and then we've rented together and yada yada, it's a whole story. When we buy a house, when we leave this one, it will be modest because we want a smaller mortgage. We know we don't need a large space, and we will just appreciate it being just our house. So I always think that any kind of trials, anything that's a little bit difficult at the time makes things easier down the line. Like if you have to sacrifice something, then later you appreciate what you get back. Do you know what I mean? So, excuse me. So, and I've also said, like, it could have been like a time in our family and in our marriage where things were getting kind of a little bit like difficult with having teenagers, and kind of like you could easily get into arguments, that kind of thing. When we move out and it's just our house, that will, in my mind, hopefully supersede any little nibbles, because we'll be like, it's cool, we can deal with this easier because it's just us in the house. It is, it's something that I miss, but we'll have it again. It's cool. And we will appreciate it all the more. I have cut down my acrylics. I snapped one, and then I decided to cut them down. And when I did these, or when we did these, I did them with my nail lady did them a couple of weeks ago. I wanted them short, and for some reason she couldn't do them that short. So we had them, it was still pretty long. They were like maybe a centimetre longer than these. But I really like them short. I love this style. I kind of miss short nails sometimes. It can be hard to move back in with parents. My daughter and I moved in with my mum after separation, plus my mum has mobility issues and needs care. Blooming hard to go back. Yeah, I mean, it's completely different because this isn't my mum and dad's house. We bought a house together, basically over a period where they are kind of in this limbo of not quite old enough to retire, but not quite young enough to get like a full, you know what I mean? It's like an awkward time in your life when you're still working, you're not retired yet, but you're not really young enough to go out and get a full mortgage and stuff. It was kind of that. So there's this just little stopgap time where nobody has to worry quite so much about bills because we're all splitting everything. Everyone can save a little bit of money, and by the time we leave, my mum and dad will both be able to draw their pensions, and everything will be kind of cool financially. And so we have like a period of time where we're all going to live together for that reason. But I think that it would have been very, very tough if we had found ourselves in a position that we had to move back in with my mum and dad in their house. That would have been a completely different story. I would have found that extra difficult because we would have been, like, as it is now, we all moved in together. The rules were, there were no rules, and we found them along the way. So people's quirks are annoying. People's like, oh, we like to do things this way, you like to do things this way. That's kind of difficult. But imagine that if you're in somebody else's house. Like if they'd come to live with us, it would have been equally as difficult for them. But because we all moved out at the same time, we were kind of like slowly learning a way of doing this all together, rather than moving into somebody else's space and having to abide by their rules. I think that would be way more difficult. It's really lovely though that you have a good enough relationship with your parents to live with them. I don't speak to my parents, unfortunately. Well, let's hope that by the time we finish doing this, we still speak to my parents. No, we have, we used to go around every single Sunday for dinner. We've always had a close relationship with my parents, and I mean, this will have been the ultimate test. It's like anything. You put yourselves through tests with certain relationships. It's like I've often said, if myself and my friend Kaz, my best friend, if we'd lived together, would we have survived that? Like, we're best friends, and we probably would have driven each other insane. There would have been all these resentments. Everyone has like issues when they have to live with someone else that is not their partner, and it kind of puts you through the ringer a little bit. Like when you move in with your partner for the first time, there are trials. And I think that at the end of this, we will all come out with a better relationship. All. But there was a minute where in that first part, and you're like, oh my God, this is really hard. I don't want this to ruin like a close relationship. But I think, we're halfway through now. I think we're good. Really good idea then what you did, all the financial reasons, gives you all a chance to save and regroup. Exactly. So I'm hoping that as and when we do move out, like I say, we're going to have a smaller house because we feel like we've lived with so little space anyway, and the kids are a little bit older. By the time we move out, Ella will be 16 and Milo will be 10. So we'll kind of have a real idea of how big a house we need. We'll have gone past that. Are we going to have another baby? Are we not going to have another baby? Period of our lives? I think probably not. But I think that will be our point where we're like, okay, this is it, yes or no, and we get like this amount of bedrooms. Whereas up until 5 years previously, it would have been a much more difficult decision to make. I think by the time I was 10, I think I'll find it easier to say definitively no. What am I drinking? Tea. It's just tea. It's not very exciting. It's just black tea. Love my mum, but OMG at 46, and you're heading out the door in the middle of the day. Where are you off to? When will you be back? Yeah, no. I mean, my dad still is a bit like that. But it's just what you're like. Like, I can go all day without speaking to people. Like, I can go all day. I don't need to kind of check in with people. My dad hasn't had a lot of time. My brother only moved out a year before we did this. So he hasn't had any like living alone as an adult time since I was born, because it was such a short period of time that my brother had left. So I think he still is in that mindset of living with his child. That can sometimes be tricky. He needs to tell me when he's going places and stuff, which is not a big deal, but also like, it's just habits, and it can sometimes make you feel like the child again. But hey ho, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal, is it? Oh my goodness, my stomach is rumbling so bad. I find when I drink tea on an empty stomach, apparently it's like the tannin or something, it really messes with me. How old is Milo? He is going to be 8 in November. We've done this for a long time. We've been online nearly an hour. I don't know if anyone's going to watch this back later. So the idea of, the reason that I did this originally was that I didn't have a video for today, and I thought I was just not going to do it at all. I thought, oh, I'll just skip Fridays. And I thought, no, I'm going to do a live. We never do a live. And if it's this or nothing, then even if it's only you guys that are watching live that watch it, it's still something, isn't it? I totally agree, it's habits. I just put up and shut up. My mum means well, and at least I know she cares. As a parent to a 25-year-old, I'll admit I do it sometimes. He's okay with it though, and just laughs at me. He never listened to me as a child, he's not going to listen now. So please, you are still on, just went to Instagram and ran straight over. I am, and it's we've gone way longer than I thought that we would. Is Milo mentioning Christmas yet? Oh, Christmas list yet? Oh, we talk all year about this, what he's going to ask for Christmas. And I mean, lovely as he is, he's going to ask for the things that don't cost us much money for Christmas so that we don't have to pay for them. So there's that. But his birthday is middle of November, so that's what we talk about first. Oh, I've really enjoyed this morning's chat. Thank you, Stephanie. Have I seen the new Avon mascara? No, I have not. What's your favourite scent for a product? Oh, that very much depends on what the product is. Very much. I like a fruity scent, but like if it was going to be like a lip product, it would be minty. Maybe even for shampoo and stuff, maybe minty. I looked at that, I can't remember what it's called. Those hair things that people have been talking about, you know, when you can have like your own, oh God, not jasmine, Jesus Christ. Oh, jasmine's my absolute worst. Jasmine smells like weed, and I'm not having that it doesn't, because it does. It absolutely does. You know the thing where people are creating their own shampoos and conditioners? I can't remember what it's called. I haven't seen any of the sponsored stuff about it, but apparently there's loads of sponsored stuff about this at the moment, and I just haven't seen it. But lots of people have said, am I going to try it? So I looked it up. It's quite expensive. It's like £39 for a shampoo and conditioner. So I'm not sure, but you put in all of your wants. Function of beauty, that's the one. And one of the things is scent. And that I really struggled with. I was like, oh, what is that? Someone said, are you going back to work full time? Sophie, I want you to elaborate. Why are you asking that question? This is like, I always want to know. I must know, Sophie. Why are you asking if I'm going back to work full time? Because I have this in my real life. It doesn't often come up on YouTube. But why do you think I work part-time is really, I suppose, the question. This is my first ever live chat, and your community is so friendly and lovely. So glad YouTube recommended one of your videos. Thank you, Melanie. I agree. I was saying this to someone the other day. I really am super thankful for the people that follow me, because if you join someone else's chat, it for sure would be something that you would see lots of like mean comments and stuff. And like I posted an ad recently, and nothing. There was not one comment that was remotely negative. Not even so much as like, ugh, an ad. Nothing. No comments. Absolutely no mean comments whatsoever. And like not even passive aggressive. I am so lucky with the people that follow me that they are just genuinely really nice. And it is like really few and far between. I'm going to say like maybe once a month, maybe twice, depending on what kind of video I film. The whole makeup revolution thing, I thought that I'd get some like pushback from that. I thought I'd get some people saying, you know, I'm being ridiculous, or like that I was like bitter or whatever. Nothing, not one mean comment. I couldn't believe it. So I agree. I'm really thankful. Did Sophie get back to me? Because you have mentioned in the past, and I mean full-time at your office jobs. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. So the reason that I ask is because over the years, even people that know that I do this stuff have asked me when I'm going back to work full-time, as if I am part-time because of the kids. Milo's nearly 8. They're both in full-time school. Ella's like practically an adult. There's no reason, like I've never been part-time for the kids, never. I went back to work 4 days a week after having Milo. I had a Monday off and I did all my blogging and stuff on a Monday. And it was always because I wanted to keep one foot in allowing myself to do this. And then over time, I ended up working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I had Thursday. Oh no, did I? Monday, Tuesday? No, I worked Thursday, Friday for a while. And then I did Monday, Tuesday. And now I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's been like bizarre, actually, the way my stuff has worked. But basically last year at Christmas time, they asked me if I would do an extra day. And I couldn't say no because I thought, if I ever want an extra day, it's not going to be available to me. This is like just one extra day. So I took it. And the reason in the past I've talked about going back full time is I've said, I will never stop making YouTube videos. When we talk about like money being made and stuff, I'll never stop doing this. But if it stops being viable for me to pay for 2 days off work with this stuff, then I will go back to work full time and this will just become a hobby again. But I'm not planning on going back to work full time anytime soon. Feasibly, when we end this thing of like living in a house with my parents and we go to get a mortgage again, I would like to not have to rely on my self-employed income, because the house we live in right now is in my name because of my self-employed income. I was able to do that. I don't want to rely on that financially. I'd like it to be kind of bonus money. And the job I've got now, I'm very, very fortunate, pays in 3 days what my previous job years and years and years ago did in 5 days. So I'm just very lucky to have found what I've found, be in the situation that I'm in house-wise. And the only reason that I will go full-time again is if we need it from the mortgage, or if everything kind of goes away YouTube-wise and I'm just like, there's no money at all. But I'm not kind of waiting to go back to work full-time. Is it the same company as Friction-Free Set Shaving? Oh, it does look very similar, you're right. You are right. Someone said, I'm getting much closer to 100k now, desperate for you to get that silver button, but I know you've kind of let it go based on your previous video. Do you know, I had let it go, and I'm kind of allowing myself to be excited about it again, because I am getting closer. Like I've grown on YouTube for the first time in 4 years. If I eventually get that 100k, it will have been 10 years in the making. Kind of hilarious. You're really inspirational, and the reason I'm thinking about starting to do this YouTube malarkey. It's fun, man. I really enjoy it. Even as a hobby, I really, really enjoy it. Do you, as they say. I found over the years, it doesn't matter what you do, someone will always think it's wrong. True. I was watching a Shopaholic channel after searching a Rocky review, loved your energy, and then YouTube recommended below this channel a couple of months ago, and I was like, yay. That's so funny, because so many people found me through that channel from like information purposes, because they were looking specifically for something, and then they found this channel later, which is funny. What job do I do? It's difficult to describe, but I work in the railway industry, and so if a train goes from Scotland to London, one train driver can't do that entire job. It will be multiple train drivers, partly because they can only drive for so long safely, and partly because they don't have like knowledge of the route that it's taking. Excuse me. So I would have to, let's say, for example, it was a Scottish train driver, I would have to find the way that he gets to that train station, all minute by minute, every single moment of his day, get him on the train, they prepare the train, they do all the safety stuff, whatever, they take the train a certain amount of way, all of the stops on the way, all the information they might need, where they can safely be relieved by another driver, which is hilarious, and people say it all the time. No one laughs at work, but drivers are relieving each other all day long. And then you have to split it up basically into different drivers, and each driver has to have all these different rules of it takes this amount of time to get to this place, they have to walk, they have to have a break, da, 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 da. Very dull, and that's what I do for a job, basically. Would I ever do a meet and greet? Maybe. I find it kind of obnoxious to do a meet and greet. I like the idea of meet and greet, but here are my problems. Number one, if you do a meet and greet, you're assuming people want to meet you. You're kind of inflating yourself a little bit. You're assuming people want to meet you. Number two, what happens when they do? Oh my God. I would be so, like, I'm an extrovert for sure. But like you'll see, even within this video, from the beginning of this video, after this, go back, once it's processed, just kind of like watch a little snippet from the beginning and watch a little snippet from the end. I get more and more animated. Even though you're not with me, just talking, putting something out there gives me energy back. And I am an extrovert, but I'm also shy. I know those things sound like they are mutually exclusive, but they are not. I'm an extrovert in that I gain energy from social interaction, but I don't like putting myself out there. I'm not the first person to say hello. If I'm with someone else, then I'm fine. I can be that person, but if I'm completely by myself, I'm not approaching a group of people. And I think that the onus would be on me in a situation where it was a meet and greet to be that person, and I don't know whether or not I am that person. I would struggle. This has been my first live YouTube chat. I absolutely love it. It's so uplifting and refreshing. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Joe. I do lots more of these on Instagram Live because I find them just easier to kind of do. They're just easy. I feel like I've got a whole setup here. I've like brought some things just in case we run out of things to talk about. We brought some things to talk about. We didn't need them. We chat. Oh yeah, okay. Artists talking. Very frustrating at times. Why don't you get a real job? I've had so many people say, like, when am I going back to work? So many. And that's why, I mean, it's for sure triggered when Sophie asked that question. But I also don't often get the opportunity to ask what motivated the question. So I'm not like annoyed by the question, Sophie, just to be clear. I just want to know, because when people ask me that in real life, I can't say, why are you asking me that question? It seems really aggressive. Which I realise now it probably did seem really aggressive. That's not what I meant it to be. But I don't often get to ask that question. And so that's why I asked. Because I do really truly think that people think that I am like part-time for the kids, and that's not true. In the summer holidays, it is rough. Like I have 2 days, today is one of them, and Milo's now watching Pokemon. And I've left him for too long. Like I should have been watching this with him. But he's cool, you know, he's just like, he's got his pancakes, he's drawing, he's got his like Switch he's been playing with, it's cool. He can kind of be okay for an hour while we do this. But there's a lot of time when I just do, like if I go in there and I try and edit something, or I'm trying to do some work, it is hard. He's only leaving me alone because he knows I'm doing this and he's engrossed in Pokemon. It's tough to try and negotiate everything else around having the kids home. And so, although it doesn't seem like I do a lot, it is, and I don't know what I would do without those 2 days. And it's not even like I necessarily do everything in those 2 days, but it kind of is, those 2 days are my decompression time. So maybe I'll sit for half a day and just watch Netflix. And it's like all the stress of trying to get other things done in the evenings and on the weekends and stuff, that is my downtime. And then I'll do something else and like get bits done. But no, it's not. That was really long-winded. But I'm always wondering why people are asking me. Also obsessed with monogramming my bags. Love it. So at Christmas time, I haven't done anything like in terms of expensive purchases in a while. And at Christmas time, me and my friend Kaz are going to do the Louis Vuitton thing. Would you guys be interested in this on this channel? Or shall I stick that? I don't do the spendaholic thing very often anymore because I realised it was like an unaffordable hobby. Unless I was like bringing in, ultimately, I don't want to do sponsored content that doesn't feel right for me just to then blow it on something unnecessary, you see? So I was turning down more sponsored content that didn't feel like the right sponsored content. I had less disposable income and I wasn't splurging on like high price items. That's basically the situation. And so now I just do the stuff that feels right and it's few and far between. But me and Kaz at Christmas time we're gonna make an appointment. We're gonna go into Louis Vuitton in Leeds. We're gonna go and order those little monogram pochette things. Basically, it's like a little tiny pouch, and you get it like painted. It's all perfectly made for you, different lining, color, all this stuff, and then it's painted on the outside, and it's got your initials on it. And I'm super excited, super excited. Is that tea sponsored? Of course, Ikra. Fun fact, I went to school with a kid who was called Ikra. She was originally called Rubina, and for obvious reasons that was difficult because people were cruel. And then she called herself Ikra, and I thought it was a really unusual name at the time. And every time you pop up, I think of her. Where did you get your sweatshirt? This is I got it from eBay. It is a Wild Fox sweatshirt, which would have been very expensive, but I bought it from eBay, which is also why it's large. It's too big, really, but I loved it. I thought it was cool. So I paid like £20 for it on eBay. My lady is watching How to Train Your Dragon, her current obsession, while I'm watching this. Bribery works every time. It does, Joe. It does. I have the Louis Vuitton Speedy with my initials. I think you'll love it. Tell me, does it wear off really quickly? Does it? I don't know. But the thing that I was going to say is, because we haven't done anything like that in a while, we're going to buy them for each other. So the little pouches, that's going to be, her birthday is in October and my birthday is in February. So it's going to be like our birthday and Christmas present to each other in one, and we're going to have 2 days out of it, and it's going to be like a fun thing. eBay video was great. I'm watching a few items now that'll save me some money. I love eBay. eBay is the best. Yes, Ikra, I think it was pretty bad. The girl who changed my name at her school, she had some walking difficulties. There were multiple things that bullies would like hone in on. And yeah, no, rough. You'd hope the initials don't wear off, as I imagine it's expensive to get done. Yeah, that's true. However, it's painted. So I think that over time it does wear away. It's not like it's not sealed in the same way that it would be if it was just like the monogram. Like the hot stamping that I've had, a heat stamping in different things. Oh my God, I feel like I immediately got a cold then. The hot stamping that I got is kind of worn a little bit. It happens. Just found out charity shops sell on eBay. Yeah, totally. Oh, I have another person to block. Gucci disco bag, worth the money, or should I get an eBay dupe? That's hard to say. I would say of all the bags that I've got, it's the one bag that I would buy again. I'm thinking of making a video about designer stuff, and I want to make it on this channel because my feelings about designer items are not what you would imagine. And I want to make this video, but I don't know whether or not it will be well received on a budget beauty channel. And it fits in with the theme. It's just, like you're saying, Julie, I mean, the Gucci disco bag is really expensive now. I got it when it was not quite as expensive, but still pricey. And I can look at my collection now and say, oh, this is really nice, this is really nice. You know, it's nice to have these things, but I know now from experience that spending X amount of money on something doesn't bring you the joy that you think it will. Beyond that, having the thing is a source of embarrassment and humiliation if you, like, it all depends on why you wanted the thing in the first place. And I don't know that I know exactly why I wanted the thing, but I think partly it was like to fit in, to be accepted by a certain group of people. I always said that if you had a designer handbag, it's like the key to walk into any designer shop. So if you've got a designer handbag of a certain value, and it's like men with watches. I mean, women with watches as well, but you know what I'm saying. It's like the keys to the kingdom. It's like you walk into Chanel with a Chanel handbag and you're treated nicer, treated more nicely, and you are taken a little bit more seriously. And I always found it so uncomfortable, even to go into like concessions and stuff. Let's say you go into Selfridges, even to just kind of browse around the more expensive things. I found it so uncomfortable that I think, looking back, that having something made me feel more comfortable. I thought, well, this is going to make me feel, like a Pretty Woman situation. If you go in and you've already got something that shows you are willing to spend X amount of money, then they take you more seriously and you don't feel as embarrassed. You don't feel like they're looking at you like, oh, she can't afford this. And I don't know where that comes from. I do not know why I felt that way. I don't know where that weird insecurity came from, but I think that is what, I mean, there were certain things that I just loved. And I saw them so many times and I was like, oh, this is the thing. That my Louis Vuitton, what's it called? The Neverfull. Oh, I just wanted that so much. But I don't know. I just felt like I didn't fit in, and so that was going to give me kind of the keys. And it's so stupid because now I feel the opposite way. If I carry something that's very, very expensive, I feel like it's very showy, and I feel like it works completely the opposite way, and that people will think ill of you for having an item and it's seeming like you're showing off. And that's not all that, like, I couldn't, oh my God, that's the worst for me, the worst. I have a friend who's got a Range Rover and it was her first car. And I said to her, because we talk about this quite frequently, and it's a beautiful car, oh my goodness. And she was older when she learned to drive. She was like 35. She's got no kids. She was in a financial position for her first car to be a Range Rover. Fuck it, get what you want. But I said to her, when we talk about, how it feels to have the thing that you thought you wanted, like how you feel when someone asks you what your car is, knowing how they're going to react, that's how I feel when someone asks about a handbag that I've got, or when it's like when you have to have a conversation about something. It just is, it's so bizarre because it's something that you spent so much money on and you should feel really good about, and yet there's an element of like shame because there's so much money. Of course you shouldn't have spent that much money on that thing. And I am like embarrassed to tell someone I spent this much money on this thing. I'm not proud, and so why? What was the purpose? It's nice to have the thing, but then if you don't want to use the thing because you're kind of embarrassed and ashamed, that's insane. That is insane. Joe said, when I take my Marc Jacobs out, go to Aldi and Lidl, my social life, it does give me a little buzz and a boost because I know I got it myself with my money. Yeah, no, totally. There are certain things, I think there's a certain level where you're like, oh, I really like this. And I would say that the Gucci Soho Disco bag is exactly that's the sweet spot. It's expensive. It feels like a special thing. And I don't think it will be disappointing to you. But it doesn't feel so beyond, like if you had like a Birkin bag or something. If you had like a Birkin bag or something, you couldn't wear it because it would just be so embarrassing that people know how much money you spent on that. I don't know. And God forbid someone ask you how expensive it was. Jesus. Oh, no. I like messing with security and making them follow me around to the point where it's so obvious. All the time, I'm on my phone tweeting the company my live experience. That's hilarious. Also mainly use a rainbow cloth bag that I got from ASOS and I love it. Do you know my favourite bags at the moment are like big tote bags, like material tote bags. Love, like something that you can just throw everything in and you've got it on your shoulder and everything just like, it just hangs nicely. That's why I was looking at the MZ Wallace, the Metro tote recently. It's like a padded kind of nylon bag. It's not for everyone. It's like a puffer jacket in a bag, but I really, really like it. And I've been looking for like a dupe. In a situation like that, 100% wouldn't even consider. Like I found a dupe on eBay, but all the black ones were sold out and I only wanted the black one. But yeah, no, I love like cotton bags that I just throw everything in and throw it over your shoulder. That's more my style. And I was talking to my friend, like, let's say Chanel. Chanel bag is just not my style. The little mini one that I got when I was 30, and I got it at an amazing deal through Heathrow, tax-free. And it's now, like, I could now sell that and get a lot of money for it. More money than I paid. It's perfect. It's like really durable. It's got the gunmetal-y kind of hardware. It kind of fits my style. But if I bought a really, really fancy looking bag, like there's loads that I like the idea of, like the, you know, those like Gucci Marmont things, the like little flat bags. That's just not my style at all. Can you imagine me wearing that like with this? No, not so much. Not so much. My sister-in-law got me a tote bag a few years ago that says, "This bag contains my life." Yes, exactly. Throw everything in there. Only issue, obviously not waterproof, and living with the West of Ireland, waterproof is a must. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Okay, I think we're going to wrap it up now. But this has been really, really fun. I've enjoyed the chat. I've enjoyed that there's lots of like chats within the chat. It's been a really, really fun thing to do. Maybe we'll do this once a month. I'm thinking if this is something that you guys enjoy, I mean, number one, you really should come and join us every single Monday night at 7:30. Emma and I do a live chat on Instagram. I'm thinking of maybe doing them on Facebook a little bit more often. We have a Vlogmas Facebook group. If you search Facebook groups for Vlogmas, you will find it, but I'll try and remember to leave a link later on in here. But we do lots of chats there, and I think we're going to, at least maybe individually or whatever, we're going to do some more Facebook Live. So come follow me on Facebook, because I'm going to try and get around to doing that a little bit more often. I'm not sure whether or not YouTube likes this kind of thing. I don't know whether or not it's something that YouTube kind of promotes. I don't know. So maybe we'll do them on different platforms. We'll kind of move around a little bit. But yeah, follow me on the other stuff and you won't miss one. You also don't get notifications in the same way. Like a couple of people have said they didn't get notifications when this actually started. I think Instagram and Facebook are a little bit better at that. But I'm a teacher, so if you do once a month, please can you do weekends or evenings? Well, we do evenings always on a Monday night. So I think since we already do that every single Monday, I would potentially do one kind of in the morning. Thursdays and Fridays are like the absolute best for me. Once the kids have come back to school, I've got a little bit of time. Also, what I love is to do a live video on a Thursday morning, get the kids to school, come back, do a live video. I used to do this on Instagram all the time. And then it just G's me up for the rest of the day. Like, number one, especially because it's not school time, I would still be in bed now, potentially. I would be like, Milo comes and sits with me in bed and watches his iPad while I'm like snoozing. And now we've been like chatting for an hour and a half, and I'm going to be all kinds of energized to go and get some work done now. So I really enjoy that at the beginning of the day, because it really does. Whereas when we do it on a Monday night, I find myself like bouncing off the walls. By the time we finished, it's like 8:30 and I'm like wired. So I do prefer it in the morning. But maybe I would do this in like before work, maybe. Also, the people that are trying to find each other, go to my Instagram and put yourself, like say something. So I put a couple of posts up today and last night about this live. Go and put something there so people can find you, because there's lots of people been chatting. I'm just thinking of like one easy way of finding each other. Just go and put like, hi, it's so-and-so. And then if you want to go and find each other there, you can find each other there. Or on Twitter or whatever you want to do. But I love that people have met through this. This is really fun. Okay, right, I'm going to go. I'm going to come around and turn you off. Thanks for joining me. And I will see you guys later.